on perfect wisdom. With the divisions of the Abhisamilakra. Translated by EdwardConze. University of California Press, Berkeley, Los Angeles, London. Translation of the Sutra. Chapter 53. The Prediction of the Ganges Goddess. Thereupon a goddess from among the gods of the Ganges came to that assembly and sat down in it. She rose from her seat, put her upper robe over one shoulder, saluted the Lord with folded hands, and said, I also, O Sugata, when I have coursed in the 6 perfections, will take hold of such a Buddha field, as it has been explained by the Tathagata in the Prajnaparamita. Thereupon that woman took gold flowers and silvery flowers, flowers from water plants and flowers from land plants, and all the requisite ornaments, as well as golden-colored and yellow flowers yoked together, and hurled them to where the Lord was. And immediately after she had done so, through the Buddha's might there stood out high up in the firmament above the Lord's head a pointed tower, with 4 pillars, quadrangular, well-proportioned, enjoyable, pleasing to the mind. And that woman, having made this pointed tower common to all beings, dedicated it to their supreme enlightenment. Thereupon the Lord, having perceived that woman's resolute intention, on that occasion manifested a smile. But such is the dharmic nature of the Buddhas and Lords that, when they manifest a smile, then various colored rays issue from the Lord's mouth, rays blue, yellow, red, white, crimson, crystal, silverish and golden. Their luster spread into endless and boundless world systems, and then again returned from there, thrice circulated around the Lord and then vanished in the head of the Lord. Thereupon the Ven. Ananda rose from his seat, put his upper robe over one shoulder, placed his right hand on the earth, stretched his folded hands towards the Lord, and said to the Lord, What is the cause, what is the reason for this manifestation of a smile? For it is not without cause or reason that the Tathagatas manifest a smile. The Lord replied, This goddess of the Ganges, Ananda, will in a future period, in the star-like aeon, appear in the world as a fully enlightened Tathagata, golden flower by name. This is the last time that this Ganges goddess has been reborn as a woman. She will in her next birth cease to be a woman and become a man. He will be reborn in Abhirathi, the Buddha field of the Tathagata Akshobhya, and will therein lead the holy life. And that Bodhisattva, that great being, will have the name of Golden Flower. After his decease there he will pass from Buddha field to Buddha field, and he will never be without the Buddhas, the Lords. Just as the universal monarch can pass from palace to palace, without ever, during his entire life up to the time of his death, treading upon the earth with the solace of his feet. Just so will that Bodhisattva Golden Flower, that great being, pass from Buddha field to Buddha field until he has known the supreme enlightenment. Thereupon the Ven. Ananda thought to himself, all those Bodhisattvas, great beings, who will be assembled in that Buddha field should be known as the congregation of the Tathagata. The Lord read the Ven. Ananda's thoughts and said to him, So it is, Ananda, as you say. That assembly of Bodhisattvas, great beings, should be known as the congregation of the Tathagata. In addition, the community of the disciples in the Buddha field of the Tathagata Golden Flower will not be bound by any measure. And it will be impossible to measure the extent of his community of disciples by saying that there are so many disciples, or so many hundreds of disciples, or so many thousands of disciples, too. Or so many hundreds of thousands of nyotas of kotas of disciples. All one can say is that these disciples will be countless, innumerable, and immeasurable. And furthermore, Ananda, in the Buddha field of the Tathagata Golden Flower, after he has known the supreme enlightenment, these faults which have been enumerated in this Prajnaparamita will in no way whatsoever either be or be conceived. Ananda, where, O Lord, has the Ganges goddess first planted her wholesome root? The Lord. It was in the presence of the Tathagata Dipankara that she planted her wholesome root, raised her thought to the supreme enlightenment, and dedicated that wholesome root to the supreme enlightenment. It was when, aspiring for the supreme enlightenment, she had scattered golden flowers over the Tathagata Dipankara. That was at the same time when I aspiring for the supreme enlightenment. Strewed flowers over the tathagata Dipankara, and when that tathagata, having known that I was endowed with the requisite roots, predicted my future enlightenment with the words, "You will in a future period become a tathagata." Sakyamuni by name, endowed with knowledge and virtue, well gone, a world knower, unsurpassed, tamer of men to be tamed, teacher of gods and men, a Buddha, a blessed Lord. Thereupon when she had heard my prediction, that goddess produced a thought to the effect that, certainly, like that young man I also would like to be predicted to the supreme enlightenment. It is thus, Ananda, that goddess has in the presence of that Tathagata Dipankara raised the first thought to the supreme enlightenment. Ananda. This Ganges goddess is one who has made the necessary preparations for the supreme enlightenment. The Lord, so it is Ananda, so it is. As you say, this Ganges goddess has made the necessary preparations for the supreme enlightenment. End chapter.